It is the 5th of August 2017. It is 11 o'clock. Let's sink the planet for 2017. Okay guys, as I said, it's the 5th of August 2017 and it's time to sink the planet. Before we get any further, before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, don't forget to hit your notifications, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll be interested to hear your comments in the comment section below. So for the topic of this year's Sink the Planet, and hello to my fellow Sink the Planet riders who are at this precise moment in time riding with me all around the world. So the topic, what one thing, if you could change in the world, what would it be? What one thing could you change? That's an interesting question. And I have thought about this, and I thought about this really hard. And I'm going to be interested to see what other people say. And I'm also going to be interested in to hear your comments as well. So yeah, hit them in the comment section. What one thing, if you could change one thing in the world, what would it be? So the one thing I would like to change in this world is one person. I would like to change just one person. That's what I would like to change. And I'll let you know who that person is in a little while. But I have to ask you a question. Have you seen the film The Shooter? Stars Mark Wahlberg? Yeah, Mark Wahlberg. And if you've seen that film, you know what I'm talking about. There's a scene where they're on the side of a snow-covered mountain, 2 helicopters. You've got Danny Glover, Mark Wahlberg, the guy that plays Agent Nick Memphis, I don't know who the actor's name is, and the guy that's the senator. And he clearly says on there that there are 2 types of people in this world, the haves and the have-nots. And that it's true. There are the people that are, you know, that do have and those that do not have, or have-nots as we say. Now the interesting thing is that everybody can be, or everybody can have what they want. There's no 2 ways about it. And I'm gonna tell you a story in a second about a gentleman. In fact, I'll start it now. This is Gentleman, and I would say he was the richest man in Peterborough for a very long time. And we're just coming upon something that I want to point out. Hopefully you'll get to see this. But he was most definitely the richest man in Peterborough for a very long time. Now there was many stories going around about this gentleman. You know, that he was a teacher, he witnessed his kids and his wife get burnt to death in a fire, so he would never ever live in a house ever again. And we're just coming up to a bus shelter, which Peterborough City Council actually let him have as their home. He kind of moved into there. So is this bus shelter here on the left hand side, as I'm coming up to it, this one here. So he moved into that bus shelter, and the council actually moved the bus stop to a bit further back so that bus still stop and he wasn't interfered. And he was a well-known celebrity throughout Peterborough for a very, very long time. And I would say he was the richest man in Peterborough. And the reason I say he's the richest man in Peterborough is because he had no worries. He lived in that bus shelter for many years. Nobody knows the real story about how he ended up in the bus shelter or why he lived in that bus shelter, but everybody knew him. His name was Knobby. And he lived there, he had a dog, people looked after him, people brought him food, nobody complained, nobody lobbied the council about getting him moved. Bearing in mind that this is one of the richer kind of affluent areas of Peterborough. And nobody seemed to complain, nobody seemed to care, nobody had any objections to him living there, and he was happy, and that's the whole key thing, he was happy. So the thing is that this one person that I would like to change, what they don't realise is that they would have a profound impact on the rest of the world. And you might not believe this, but you can do the same. You could choose this one person and you could change this one person. And this one person, if he changes, could affect somebody else and they would change. And they would affect somebody else and they would change. And then people would realise that, well, hang on a second, I don't have to live the life I've got at the moment, and I can have what I want, because that's the whole thing. The only way that you can change the world is by changing it one person at a time. And the interesting fact is that that person I'd like to change is myself. You see, because if I change and I can show people that if I can do it, then you can do it. And there's nothing stopping us. There is nothing stopping us from having what we want, apart from ourselves. We spend most of our time sitting there thinking about what we don't have or what we don't want, as opposed to what we do want and what we do have. How many people actually watching this video will sit there and go, do you know what, I'm really thankful I actually have a job, or I'm really thankful I have my health, or I'm really thankful that I have a roof over my head of a night time. You see, we spend most of our lives thinking about what the other person's got, and the fact is that we don't have it and we want it, and we should spend an enormous amount of time just sitting there wishing our lives away. The most valuable thing in a cemetery, if you look at a cemetery, the most important aspect of a headstone is that little dash. From the minute you was born to the minute you was die, that little dash represents your entire life, represents all your wishes, all your dreams. And in every cemetery there are hundreds, if not thousands, of unfulfilled wishes, unfulfilled dreams, unfulfilled items that could have been invented and never was, unfulfilled songs that could have been written and never was, and unfulfilled books that could have been written and never was. For the simple reason is, we don't give ourselves enough credit to realise that we can do anything we want to do. And we are destined to do anything we want to do. We've got a point at the moment in society where it is going to hell in a handbasket. I'm not quite sure what that reference means, but it is. We have people trying to force their own thoughts and ideologies on everybody else. At the moment, people want to change the world by forcing people to adopt their own thoughts, their own ideas, their own causes, which is wrong. Everybody's an individual. We all live in this planet together. We all share this planet's resources. We all breathe the same air. And in fact, we're all the same colour on the inside, depending what the colour is on the outside. But as I'm riding around town now, I'm looking at all these people, and every single one of them has their own agenda, because the fact is they're thinking about themselves. But rather than thinking about what they can do, they're thinking about what they don't have or what they don't want. And I think that's what needs to change. We need to start looking at what we can do, what we can have, and what we do want, as opposed to what we don't. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. If you do like this video, don't forget, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that notification, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'll catch you again with another video. Somebody wants to get run over because he's just stepped out literally by the side of me. Amazed I didn't hit him. And I will catch you again next time. Arrivederci. Cheerio, and goodbye for now.